So as far as our CRUD functionality goes, we can create, we can read or see the details of something, but let's talk about updating things. So let's go ahead and make a new class. I'm going to copy what we have here because we're going to end up reusing a lot of it. So rather than detail hall, we're going to have update hall. And instead of the detail view, you guessed it, we are going to use update view. All right. Still got to specify the model is equal to hall. We still have to give a template name. So in this one, let's go ahead and just call this update hall. We've also got to specify fields, like what can the user change about their Hall of Fame. So we shouldn't allow them to change the user, but we should allow them to change the title. So let's go ahead and specify that down there. And that's just the same thing like we have up above. And then we should also successfully send them somewhere if they are able to update. So you'll notice we didn't do that for the detail because there's no success necessarily. Like you can just view, you can't update, delete, or create anything like that. But for updating, we do want to send them somewhere if they're able to do that. And I think we should send them back to the dashboard. And in fact, when someone creates a hall, I think they should also be going to the dashboard. We just didn't have that earlier, so we had left that as home. But let's go ahead and just copy this, specify this down below. Okay, we'll save this. Now we need to provide the HTML for being able to update a hall. And while we're on the topic of this, let's go ahead and edit our create because they're actually going to be fairly similar here. So let's go ahead and move over to our create hall, which we sort of left a little bit unfinished here. So we still want this to have the form and whatnot, but before we do the form, we should tell someone that this is where you can create a Hall of Fame. So let's do like an H2 tag, and we'll specify inside of here that you can create a hall. We won't even say hall A, we'll just say create Hall of Fame. There we go. So that sort of announces what's going on here. Then inside of the form, everything's looking fine. Just, I guess with this input here, I'd like to have a class so that we have a little bit of a better button here. So we're going to do our btn and then btn-primary. That gives us our nice blue button. And with that in place, we should have everything that we need here. I guess I like maybe just the word create, and I usually create my inputs like this. I have my ending input, so I just want to keep things standard here. So we're going to have this just say create. Awesome. So this looks pretty good. I think it should make our create that much better. So let's do Hall of Fame / create. See what it looks like. Yes, this is looking a little bit better except for the submit query. I don't like what's going on there. So let's go ahead and change this. So I realized what the issue here was. These need to be buttons instead of inputs. It's going to make things play a lot nicer. Let's go ahead and save that. Then come back. Let's reload the page here. There we go. Okay, so the create view is looking good, but again, what we're ultimately trying to do is get the update to work here. So let's go ahead and get our same code that we used here. We'll just go ahead and copy this and use it for an update hall. So we need to make that file. So I'm going to say new file, update_hall.html. Let's go ahead and paste this in. Now, let's talk about the differences that we're going to need here, right? Like, what is it that you'll want to do? Well, instead of have the create button here, we're going to want this to say update, or I think update's more of kind of a programmer term. I kind of like the word save. I think that makes a little bit more sense to the user, and they can see that and say, oh, okay, that is what's going on here. But outside of that, I think like the title is going to display inside of the form, and instead of create, let's just call this edit. So it's really a lot of the same stuff. Let's go ahead and save this, come back, and let's reload. Let's go to Hall of Fame /1/ and then we want to do update. Okay. Oh, and I have, in the URLs, we forgot to uncomment that. Okay, so URLs here, we're going to uncomment that. So we have the update. We'll save this. Let's reload here. So now it says edit Hall of Fame, and we've got cat video. And look at this. If we just say, instead of this being cat videos, let's change it to dog videos. If we save this, and it takes us back to our dashboard, but we could go to our Hall of Fame /1, and look at that. now says dog videos. So we're successfully able to save that. Now, one more thing that I'd like to add to the update there, if I go to /update, is that I'd like to have the ability here to lead people on to say, okay, hey, maybe you want to delete this particular Hall of Fame, right? So I think we should provide that option. Let's go back to our update hall, and after our form, but before our div here, we're going to create a new A tag. So we'll have our opening and our closing there. Now for the A tag, the href of where this could possibly go is we want this to go to our delete view, which doesn't exist yet, but it's going to in just a second here. And we're going to say, all right, URL is going to be we want delete _ hall. Awesome, so that's where it should lead them. We want to specify the class here to be a button, so we're going to say button. Then also this time, instead of doing button primary, we want to do button -danger, okay? And then with this in place, we should specify and let people know, okay, hey, if you want to delete this Hall of Fame. So we're going to say something like delete this Hall of Fame. And in fact, you could inject the title in there if you wanted to, but I think this terminology is going to do fine. So let's go back to our URLs, uncomment this last path that we have, save that, go to our views. This is the last of the CRUD we need to be able to delete. So let's copy what we had for the update and we'll paste it down below. We're going to call this delete hall, and we're going to have this be coming from the delete view. It inherits from there. So we're still going to have to specify the model. We're still going to need a template name. We don't need the fields, but we do need a success URL. And like the other ones, we're going to send them back to the dashboard. So let's go ahead and now create the proper code for this. And we're going to have to change the template here. So this should be delete _ hall.html. So let's do a new hall, delete _ hall.html. And then let's go to our update, select all that code, copy, and paste it down below. Now let's talk about, the differences that we're going to see in this situation. So really in this case, I think the big thing that we want to ask the user is because this is sort of the confirmation, are you sure you want to delete this one? So I'm going to put inside of this H2 something like, are you sure that, maybe not that, are you sure you want to delete this Hall of Fame, ? So we're going to ask them that question, then give them ability to submit the form. And in this case, we don't want button primary, we want button danger, just kind of like we had down below here. But something we do want to display down here is the title of the one that they're going to delete, because that won't actually show up inside of the form here. So we're going to do a BR tag, and let's go ahead and change this to show something like the Hall title. So we'll do an H2 tag, open and close that puppy. Great. And then inside of this H2 tag, I want to do an A tag so that someone could go back and check out some more details of it if they wanted to. So the href on this guy is we're going to set this to be a URL for, let's send them to the Hall _detail. And we're going to pass, remember we have to say which particular one it is we want to go to, and that's the hall.id. So we're kind of adding that parameter there. And so this way, and let's end this, or that's the beginning opening A tag, and then we'll put the hall.title there, and then we'll end the A tag. Great. Okay, so we'll save this. Let's come back. Let's reload our update view, and we have something that it's not liking here. No reverse for delete hall. So let's check our URLs. We should have our delete hall name there. Okay. Maybe let's shut down our server, reload it again. Okay, it's feeling happy. Let's reload the page here. I see what the issue is here. So when we specified our delete hall inside of our update, so we said, hey, you want to go delete the hall here, we have to say which particular hall it should be going to go delete. So we're going to say hall.id there. If we make that change and save it, and then reload this page, Everything's looking better. Okay, so we got some spacing issues, but we'll come back to fix that here in just a second. But someone wants to go do an update and they say, you know what, I really just want to get rid of this Hall of Fame. I never should have had cat or dog videos. So they hit the delete button. That's going to take them to the delete page, which, oh man, again, okay, so Hall detail inside of our delete Hall, we're going to have to specify, I did the reverse name on this, detail underscore Hall. That one I just flip-flopped, spelt the wrong way. Okay, let's reload that. Now it says, are you sure that you want to delete this Hall of Fame? We can go ahead and, the name save's not that great. Let's go ahead and have this changed to something like delete. Reload this page. But look, there's this option. You say, let's go check out dog videos again, and you could see it, and then you go back. You're like, no, I actually do want to get rid of this. Then you can hit the delete button, and boom, that Hall of Fame is gone. If I try and go to, for example, Hall of Fame /1, we get the 404 because it's like there's no matching Hall object inside of our database. We don't got it. So there you have it. We successfully created all the CRUD functionality, but really the main thing that you should take away from this is the ability to do all of your create, read, updates, deletes with class-based views. And look how simple and clean they are. Even for doing a little customization in the creation so that we could, get the user in there, it's really solid. Like, this is a short amount of code. I guarantee you, if you were going to do this with function-based views, this would be at least double of what you see here. So, in my opinion, when possible, do these class-based views. But if it's starting to get too complicated and you're writing multiple functions for a single class, you might then think, okay, maybe this is a better situation for a function-based view. But with that, that's the end of this section. It was a particularly big one, so give yourself a nice pat on the back. But we're moving forward, right? Like our website, we're able to create users, log in, log out. We're able to create Hall objects, delete, update, view them. Really, the next step is adding videos. So we're going to talk about that as we move forward.